little late because here I am in Mayapur. There the raining is happening, so that's why it took little time. And coming, I got completely wet. The raining. So we'll begin now, bro. Om Gyan Timirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya चक्षुर्मीलितं तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनुकृष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरु वैष्णवां च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सगुणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं सादवे तं सावधूतं परिजनाश्रयितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादां शागना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णदृष्टाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम पदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरत्विषे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता श्रीराधा कांता नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्रीराधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरो विष्णु कृपा सिन्धुरेव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम। यस हरे कृष्णा। तो today we have to begin the chapter number 14 and we have completed chapter 13. So in the chapter 13 it was there uh, Iswara, specifically it was the dealing with the what we said, the six questions which Arjuna was asking. What is the Jnana, Chitra, Chitragya, Jnanam, Geya, and Prakriti and Purusha. But in 13th chapter, there is a one sloka which I told it is a Bija Vakya. Somebody can tell which one is that sloka, uh, which was the Bija Vakya, from which uh, the other chapters are coming out. Chapter number 14, chapter number 15, chapter number 16. Yes,
13.22.
13.22. I know. There it comes that Karanam Guna Sangasya Sadyasa Oni Janmasu. Just let me say it. So this is the sloka number 22, Anna, which is the Bija Vakya. Anna. So this is it. Hmm. Purusha Prakriti Isto hi Bhungate Prakriti Jana Gunan Karanam Guna Sangasya Sadyomi Janmasu. So this is the Bija Vakya, Anna, of Bhagavad Gita. Anna. So what is the cause of living entities entanglement in this material world according to this sloka?
घूमते घूमते
Bhunkte. Yes. The word the bhungte means what? The enjoying mentality. And you desire to enjoy this material world. And then, because he has a desire to enjoy, he comes in contact with the three modes. And the desire for enjoying get nourished, and a seed of desire for enjoyment get nourished by the three modes. And, and that's how now the chapter number 14 comes out. So what is the three modes, how they function, and how the jiva, who is the spiritual beings, comes in contact with the three modes. And how one can get free from these three modes, this comes in. So all this analytical study has been done into the chapter number 14. And so this is the link. What is the cause of bondage? So we saw that 13.22. And the cause of bondage, if you see, the karanam guna sangasya. And the what is the karana? What is the cause? Is the three guna, the modes of material nature. And but this is the critical factor of the bondage. But we cannot say that the cause of this is actual the cause of bondage. The actual cause of bondage is what? The bhungte. And the ones because one has the desire to enjoy this material world. And and due to that, then one comes. The next step is what? He comes in contact with the motion material nature. And also in this chapter, it has been mentioned that how one can come out of these three modes. So this topic specifically is not mentioned any place in the Bhagavad Gita. है. Many places it has been explained. Even the 13th chapter also explained that how one can remain detached from this world. है. But it has been not talked about that how the Jivatma get entangled into the three modes. And how the three modes function. So majority in this chapter is like you see there are five factors Bhagavad Gita deals: Isvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Kala, Karma. Right? So in this chapter, the majority the discussion is about what? The Jiva and Prakriti. How Jiva get entangled in Prakriti. है ना? So this is the major the focus has been here in the 14th chapter is what? Jiva, how it comes in contact with the modes or Prakriti. So this is the overview of the whole chapter, which all of you can note down or can take the screenshot. And the 1 to 13, that how the soul, which is spiritual, is conditioned by the mode. This one sloka number 1 and 2, the Krishna glorifies this knowledge. And he watched. He is going to describe in the 14th chapter. He is glorifying first of all. So why the Krishna is glorifying? Because when you glorify, then one become very eager and attentive to hear that. So Krishna is glorifying this knowledge. And third and fourth, then it tells about the how the soul contacts the matter. And sloka number 5 to 9, then how the modes bind the soul. And the 13 to 10 to 13, then identifying the modes dominating us by their principal characteristics. And then 14 to 18, it is the effect of conditioning by the modes. What is the effect of these modes? The 14, 15 is a long-term effect, what is there? Medium term for 16 is medium term effects, and 17 is immediate effect due to the modes. And the 18 is directs. Uh, then what is the destination actually? If one is in particular mode, direction of the post-death journey. And then the 19 to 27, it is about one how can one transcend these modes. And so let us go ahead. Then, so this is the first shloka where the Krishna is glorifying this knowledge. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Parambhuya Pravakshyami Jnananam Jnanam Uttamam Yagyatva Munaya Sarve Param Siddhim Ito Gata. Yes, somebody can read the translation.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Again I shall declare to you this supreme wisdom, the best of all knowledge, knowing which all the sages have attained the supreme perfection."
Uh, so Krishna is telling Paramam. है ना? So this knowledge is Paramam means the transcendental knowledge. है ना? And then when he is telling the Bhuya, Bhuya means again. Uh, Again I shall declare to you what this supreme wisdom. है ना? So this is the supreme wisdom. It's Jnanam Uttamam. है ना? So now the question comes here. है ना? So why Krishna is mentioning the word called again? Bhuya. Bhuya means again. Where he has not mentioned about this knowledge anywhere. One side we are telling about that, but another side Krishna is telling again. And what is the meaning of this again? And so what Krishna wanted to say, the conclusion of the knowledge is what the call for the devotional service. It means what that one should practice bhakti. So again, he is going to glorify the bhakti in one sense. And so many places in Bhagavad Gita, like you see, the sixth chapter number 7 to 12, Krishna glorified the bhakti. And many before that also. And so he had spoken many times, but he has not spoken analytical study of modes. He has not spoken before. And so what he is going to do here, that he is going to, again, the word is used for the conclusion of knowledge. What is the conclusion of knowledge? That one comes to the bhakti. So, so Krishna is telling, again I am going to glorify the bhakti. Again I am going to tell you about the devotional service, which he has already spoken before. So this is the so this 14th chapter talks of the three modes, but finally comes to the conclusion to the devotional service. Because when the things comes that how one can become free from the three modes of material nature, so then whole thing will come to the Krishna will give solution devotional service. Why? Because the devotional service of bhakti is the best means to get liberation from the modes of material nature. And, uh, and Krishna is also telling that what Muna, this Munaya Yagyatva Munaya Sarve Param Siddhim Itogata. Many munis, many sages uh, have attained perfection by this knowledge. So why the word Munaya? Because Muni means he may not approach bhakti or he may not perform the bhakti with love. Because this whole section is going on is the Jnana Yoga. The Jnana Yoga means that a Jnani may not approach, he does not have that love for Krishna. But how he may approach? He may approach out of duty, that he want to get free from the three modes. He want to get free from this material world. So then, as out of duty, then he comes to this knowledge, or he try to practice this knowledge, or he can try to practice the bhakti in one sense. So that's why Krishna is telling the Munaya. So people may not approach the devotion service out of love, but out of duty. That what is the duty? That these modes are very entangling, and I want to come up with that. Therefore, the word is used here is Munaya. And so through the help of this transcendental knowledge or through the bhakti, and he comes out of the moksha material region. But he does not have love for Krishna. And that's why the word has been used here, Muniya. Yes, somebody can read this purport from the seventh chapter.
From the seventh chapter to the end of the 12th chapter, Sri Krishna in detail reveals the absolute truth, the supreme personality of Godhead. Now the Lord Himself is further enlightening Arjuna. If one understands this chapter through the process of philosophical speculation, he will come to an understanding of devotional service.
Uh, so Prabhupada is writing, if one understands this chapter with the process of philosophical speculation, he will come to an understanding of devotional service. And the philosophical speculation, that is called mental speculation. The mental speculation is what? It is just a haphazard activity of the brain. Means what? It is just anumana and his own some speculation which is not aligned anywhere with the Shastra, anywhere with the uh, bona fide spiritual masters. So that may be for satisfying his ego. You know? So that is called mental speculation. And what is the philosophical speculation? The philosophical speculation is directed by any speculation which is directed by Guru Sadhu Shastra. And the goal is what? The bhakti. When goal is there that I want to please the Lord, then that speculation is called the philosophical speculation. So one sees the whole world according to that, you know, uh, with the philosophical speculation, then he goes more closer to the Lordship. And, but mental speculation, he get diverted. Yes. So in the 13th chapter, it was clearly explained that by humbly developing knowledge, one may possibly be freed from the material entanglement. And so here, Prabhupada is mentioning the how the knowledge should be approached. And the one should uh, humbly approach the knowledge, uh, humbly developing the knowledge. And that's why you'll find that when we read those uh, items of knowledge, the first items of knowledge which help us to attain the knowledge is what? Amanitvam. And Amanitvam is that humility. And also in Bhagavad Gita, there is a one sloka, it comes that when uh, one has the knowledge, then one becomes submissive. Which is the sloka? Anybody?
विद्या विनय संपन्न नहीं सॉरी
हाँ, Vidya Vinay Sampane. And the first Vidya is coming, it means what? Knowledge. And that somebody is having Vidya means what? He should be Vinaya. The next Vinaya means he should be submissive. And the Vidya Vinay Sampane, Brahmane Gauri Hastini, Sunicheva Sapakecha, Pandita Samadarshina. And it means what? The having the knowledge means what? That is submissive. And somebody want to develop the knowledge also, the step is required, the submission is required. And, like we say that a tree is uh, really filled with a lot of fruits, then what happens? It's bored. It comes, all the branches comes down and goes down. And if somebody is really achieved the knowledge, he will be very humble.
अब प्रजी छोटा सा
Yes,
पूछना था। जैसे आप बता रहे हैं रियली नॉलेज अगर अचीव करता है तो वो रियलाइजेशन वाला पार्ट किधर चला जाएगा फिर जी? नॉलेज से ही तो फिर जी नहीं विनम्र हो सकता। जैसे कल एक लड़का है तो बहुत आर्गुमेंट कर रहा था, वो इतना पढ़ा इतना पढ़ा इतना पढ़ा, तो नॉलेज से ही कैसे विनम्र हो जाएगा फिर जी जब तक
1
रियलाइजेशन नहीं
minute.
होगा?
Actually, I'm not able to hear you. I'll switch off the fan. हाँ, यस, हिरण्य में
Prabhuji,
बोल।
Prabhuji, how he can humble by the only knowledge, Prabhuji? जब तक रियलाइजेशन नहीं आएगा, जैसे कल एक लड़का आया तो बहुत वो आर्ग्यू कर रहा था, बहुत कुछ शास्त्रों को पढ़ा था, तो हम्बल नहीं था। तो ऐसे करके अगर रियल नॉलेज मिल गया लेकिन रियलाइजेशन नहीं है तो कैसे हम्बल हो जाएगा, प्रभु? या फिर नॉलेज और रियलाइजेशन में क्या, आप थोड़ा सा बताएंगे प्रभु?
गुड। तो when somebody has understood the what is the meaning of having the knowledge, we understood that what is his position. You know, he understand he is the servant of Lord. He understand that he is just one insignificant living entity. You know, and he understand the greatness of Krishna. That means he is having the knowledge. Knowledge does not mean having information. Yes. Knowledge means what? To know what is spirit, what is matter, who is the controller of both. And so this is the knowledge. And, so he may say that he got the knowledge, but actually he has not got the knowledge. And then what you are telling that knowledge means he got the informations. And the informations many people get. And like Hiranyakasipu, you seventh canto, you see Hiranyakasipu is speaking. Uh, this is the subject matter of Science of Soul, session number 4 device. He is speaking to the his own mother and I think sister. है ना?
भाभी को बोल रहे थे।
भाभी थी। Okay, I do not exactly remember. है ना? So he speaks to them and so nicely he is explaining. He is giving the examples also. So see, then people may have the knowledge, informations, but finally, the having the knowledge means what? That somebody's really had the knowledge means what? He will have the humility. How will we identify somebody's got the knowledge? He will be humble. है ना? Right. Otherwise, he has not got the knowledge. So, if we are going to see further that how the knowledge should be approached, that we are going to. जैसे, for example, I want to receive knowledge, है ना, of Bhagavad Gita, then how should I approach it? है ना? When one time I thought that I will read Bhagavad Gita in the 2 month. I went to Premanampu and asked that Prabhuji, I'm going to read Bhagavad Gita in 2 months. So what should be my mood? And then Prabhuji told that your mood should not be that you acquire more informations from Bhagavad Gita. And- But your mood should be what? That our attraction for Krishna develops more and more. And so that's what is the purpose, right? धर्म स्वनिष्ठित पुंसां विश्वक्सेन कथासु न उत्पाद्यते यदि रतिम श्रमेव हि केवलम. Uh, so that's what it is. If somebody is really received knowledge, then his love for Krishna will increase. He will understand his position that I am just servant of uh, all the devotees and the Lord. And his service attitude will increase. Uh, Understood? Hiranyamaya type.
Yes, thank you, Prabhu. Just one thing, Prabhu. What is the means of realization? Knowledge, then realization.
हाँ. What is the meaning of realization, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
So realization means what? See, uh, I was just recently hearing one lecture. So in that, I was hearing that uh, how Prabhupada, when he spoke anything, he would be giving the practical understanding of those things in the life. And, so what was that? So he was speaking. Maharaj was speaking about one thing that Prabhupada, whenever some devotee asks that, Prabhupada, can you tell us, Anna, whenever the question came about that how we first time fell from the spiritual world, the Prabhupada did not discuss about this much. Prabhupada told that you go back. What you can do right now, Anna, the right now is that you perform devotional service. And if you do that, you will go back to the spiritual world. And then you can find out all those things. But the most important at the right time, at this time, the practical thing is that performing devotional service. And as far as whatever my limited understanding is, whatever I got to know, the realization means what that having uh, what we are understanding that knowledge that comes into the practical action of our life.
The practical action means Prabhuji,
Hmm?
the practical action means
Practical actions means what? As I was telling, na, that comes into
oh,
also dealing with devotees, having
oh,
service attitude,
yes, yes,
है ना?
Prabhuji. Yes.
Like that. हाँ. So now in this chapter, the Supreme Person, I'm reading the purport only. This is the purport I have. Uh, Now in this chapter, the Supreme Personality explains what those modes of nature are, how they act, how they bind, and how they give liberation. And now Prabhupada says that the knowledge explained in this chapter is proclaimed by the Supreme Lord to be the superior to the knowledge given so far in other chapters. And so there is a two things in this sloka Krishna is telling that I am giving this knowledge again, but then here Prabhupada is writing or in the main sloka Jnanam Uttamam, the superior uh, is this knowledge has not been given so far in those chapters. So how we reconcile these both things? है ना? एक जगह पे तो कृष्ण बोल रहे हैं कि आई एम गिविंग द बेस्ट ऑफ द नॉलेज राइट नाउ another place I am he's telling that I am giving again. Uh, if you see the answer to this is what the Krishna has spoken various kind of knowledge like karma yoga, gyan yoga, bhakti, है ना? But in the all these various kinds of subject matter, the bhakti is the highest, है ना? So Krishna is telling uh, the bhakti is the highest, and I am going to repeat the glories of bhakti or the how bhakti can only can take you out of the emotional material nature. है ना? So that's how the Krishna is telling that already I have spoken the bhakti, about bhakti before, but again I am going to speak about bhakti and how bhakti can uh, take you out of three modes of material nature. But the question comes that what is not given so far before? है ना? So what is not spoken? The dealing of the jiva and prakriti, how jiva get entangled into prakriti. That so far is not spoken. है ना? In an analytical way, specifically that how jiva get comes in contact with three modes, है ना? So that I'm going to speak here. It is clear here?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Um, yes, Baldev Vidyabhushan, what he says, somebody can read?
The 14th chapter explains that the gunas are a cause of bondage, that they give three results, and that they are destroyed by devotion to me. Having examined and concluded the nature of jivas and prakriti, which are mixed together, one should become liberated from the bondage of prakriti by becoming endowed with certain qualities such as prideness, pridelessness, Amanitva. The cause of bondage is the association of gunas.
Ah, the cause of bondage is the association of gunas. Okay. Further, uh, so with these questions in the mind, the Lord praises the in the two verses the topic he will be explaining to induce a taste for Atma. Hmm. So whenever you want that people should understand some knowledge and what we are speaking, and then what we should do, first of all, we should glorify that knowledge. And, so he is glorifying that knowledge. That is the best of the knowledge. And, so, so that one can be very, very attentive. And, so it is the best of the knowledge of the all topics of the knowledge concerning the Jiva and Prakriti. That's how. Now see, it is now for all of us also we should see that it is very important that how we get entangled by three modes, you know, specifically Rajoguna and Tamoguna, how we can come to Sattva and how beyond we can go, beyond the Sattva how we can go. It is very, very relevant. This whole chapter will be very, very relevant for all of us. Specifically, as for all of us, it is very important that we come to Sattva, and then by the practice of bhakti we can transcend the sattva also. Uh, so that's how it is, this chapter become very, very relevant, like we from day one we talk with the initial with the when we start giving the device sessions and we start talking to first year students, we start talking about the lifestyle, we talk about habits and all that. So ultimately those things are indirectly we are talking about rajoguna and tamoguna only. Now tamoguna and rajoguna is affecting us. Now one can come to sattva guna and go beyond that. You know. So that's why it is very, very, the whole chapter is very relevant for all of us. Idam jnanam upashitya mama sadharmyam agata sarge api nopajayante pralayena vyathanti cha. You know. So Krishna is telling, and by becoming fixed in this knowledge, one can attain to the transcendental nature like my own. You know. Sadharmyam agata. Sadharmyam means what? The same nature of my own. You know. Thus established, Sargepi Pajayate, one is not born at the time of creation or disturbed at the time of dissolution. You know. It means what? You know, the one go beyond the bodily conception. You know. One does not get affected, by things happening to the body. So this is the power of this knowledge. But what one has to do? The jnanam upasritya. Here, the one of the most important this word is upasritya. Upasritya means what? Taking shelter of this knowledge. And so, what is the meaning of taking shelter of this knowledge? So that I just made some notes. So, taking shelter of this knowledge means what? Generally, what happen whenever we get some knowledge, and so what happen immediately we start having the controller mentality. Can you give some example in your life when you got some knowledge, even the college or school, whatever we studied the different subject, you got some knowledge and then immediately we got that controllership mentality. Yes, anybody want to share?
फॉर एग्जाम्पल जैसे कैंप में हमें कुछ इंचार्ज बनाया जाता है और कोई मतलब कोई हमारा सुनता नहीं है तो तुरंत हमारे ईगो आ जाता है, अरे मैं ऐसे कर रहा था लेकिन
No,
तुमने
no, we
ऐसे
are
नहीं
speaking
किया.
about knowledge. That you got some knowledge and immediately, even the material knowledge we are talking about.
Prabhuji, like when we hear this device
Ah,
first, so as soon as we get to know about soul and other things, so immediately the things come in our mind. I will tell all this knowledge to my friends also, and it's like in this way I will show off. This also comes.
Okay, this pride immediately comes. Or you might have seen also that you all of you might have solved the questions from Irodo by S.C. Verma. है ना? Immediately you are able to answer the questions. अरे हो गया, done. है ना? Who can solve? Only I can solve. Immediately what happened? you are able to answer the question, the controllership mentality immediately awakens. है ना? And then you see that you are able to solve 10 questions you attempted of Irodo and all the 10 questions you are solved. Then you'll become so proud. I remember that we two friends were studying in Kota and we were uh, solving the SC Verma. We made a target in 2 months we'll solve whole SC Verma. And I was able, there were different category of questions were there. I was able to solve those tough questions also. There were some tough questions. And immediately, as soon as I would get solve it, I would go to him. सॉल्व हो गया तेरे से हुआ क्या है ना तो फिर then what would happen I would become proud and he will become humbled है ना but many of the other time when I could not solve any question है ना if if you're the see you are able to solve many questions you will become proud and but after that you are not able to solve one question also you'll become so pathetic your situation will be completely dangerous humbled actually in one sense है ना so like that so actually and generally whatever knowledge we take it increase our controller mentality है ना more the knowledge more
Praji, here comes pride, not controllership mentality, Praji. How?
hmm?
यहाँ पर प्राइड आ रहा है प्रजी, कंट्रोलरशिप मेंटेलिटी कैसे आ रहा है प्रजी? मतलब थोड़ा सा बताएंगे, एक्सप्लेन करेंगे.
Controllership means what that अरे controllership you are feeling in the point of what कि power लोगों को कंट्रोल करना या चीजों को कंट्रोल करना है ना but controllership means what here the mentality of understanding that oh है ना I I can do anything. Controllership means what? Generally, I can do anything. I can solve any questions. है ना? And somewhere this pride and controllership both are related to each other. है ना? So again, I'll go back to that. So what is the whole thing? The thing is that upashritya, the ones who take shelter of this knowledge, है ना? So here Krishna is not telling that take shelter of me, but the Krishna is telling that take shelter of the transcendental knowledge. Means the instruction of Krishna uh, can be taken as a shelter. It means what the message of Krishna, which is given in the Bhagavad Gita, we can take shelter of that. And that if we take the shelter of this knowledge, what will happen? Immediately, all the we can get free from all kind of a confusions, and we get a directions. And so when you take the shelter of the knowledge, and so then you get direction in your life. And like for example, and, uh, we are somebody is feeling that okay lust is attacking me so then he reads that section of Bhagavad Gita 3.36 to 41 immediately he finds oh how lust is so powerful how it acts and how one can get free from it immediately he gets the positivity and directions is it not and somebody is what is happening uh, uh, somebody is feeling that okay uh, there's a lot of challenges he's facing in his life and from other peoples and all that. But as soon as he reads those slokas, Matra Spasasto Kante Sitoshna Shoka Dukkada, immediately he gets the vision. He gets that directions. है ना? And then, or somebody get frustrated with the life. है ना? So then what happens? He reads the chapter number 15. He gets that array, this material world is not all in all. There is a spiritual world. है ना? So immediately the hopes comes in the life. The directions comes in one's life. है ना? So this spiritual knowledge should not be used as a crown. है ना? Crown means what? If you put the crown, then one may start showing off everyone. है ना? Now see, I have the crown. है ना? But crown cannot protect the person. But if you take the self, if you use this spiritual knowledge as umbrella, what umbrella can do? Umbrella can give you protection. है ना? So we should not make this spiritual knowledge as the ornament of our ego. है ना? Then we will miss the whole point. है ना? Like as I was talking about Hiranyakasipu, Ravana. So they used the knowledge as the ornament of their ego. है ना? And that's how they could not take shelter of the Lord in that sense. Because our goal is what? That we want to learn and approach. We want to learn this knowledge and approach toward loving Krishna. है ना? So our goal is not to conquer Krishna, but being conquered by Krishna. It means what? Our attraction for Krishna should develop, our shelter for Krishna should increase. है ना? And we purpose of achieving this knowledge is what? Our rati for Krishna increases more and more. है ना? So can you now, my question to all of you, can you tell some examples from the Shastra where one took the shelter of the knowledge, transcendental knowledge, and one got the directions in one's life, है ना? And he became hopeless, what we say, the hopeless to hopeful completely. है ना? Yes, any example?
Arjun, Parichet
हाँ,
Maharaj.
Arjuna is the
Chitraketu Maharaj.
one. Yes, Arjuna is the one. And then Chitraketu Maharaj. The same Chitraketu Maharaj was full with anxieties, but Chitraketu Maharaj got that wisdom from that small child. And immediately, Chitraketu Maharaj, the consciousness got completely changed. We see not only Chitraketu Maharaj, but with him, all the queens, other queens, they also got. And their consciousness also got changed. And same Chitraketu Maharaj later on becomes the Vittasura, the great pure devotee of the Lord. Any other example? The
Prachi
devotees are
Parishad,
mentioning.
like Narada.
Prachini Parishad. How Prachini Parishad? Can you explain?
Like Miss Agmuni, he has told the allegorical story. Prachi Parishad, he was involved in Karma Kanda, but he has told
Hmm.
Puranjana Bhakyan,
Uh,
then he has got realization.
Yeah. The Dehuti, the Mother Dehuti says that I am completely frustrated with this so-called happiness of this world. So then she wanted the get freed from this entanglement. So then what happened? The uh, Kapila Muni then, Lord Kapila then speaks this knowledge. Dhruv Maharaj also. है तो ध्रुव महाराज केस वेयर अमन यादव को कैन से
तो जी जब यक्षास के साथ फाइट हो रहा था,
हाँ तो when the yakshas were having the fight with the yakshas, so that time, but how he got that time the transcendental knowledge?
तो जी वो डेमिगॉड्स आके बोलते हैं चैंट दी होली नेम ऑफ द लॉर्ड.
ठीक है. Okay, there was not elaborate discussion of giving the knowledge in that. Yes, but he get the direction through those sages. Avanti Brahmana. Yes, Avanti. Exactly. So we see that the knowledge should, when we take shelter of the knowledge, the same knowledge actually help us to go near to Krishna. But if the same knowledge, if somebody is taking as a what just as information or as a basis of, it may increase his pride, and one's whole life can get spiritual life can get ruined, and one can go far away from Krishna. Then. Many examples devotees as Sarva Bhattacharya, Dhritarashtra in the end of his life. Yeah. So see, this is a very important statement. Purpose of our intellect is to surrender to Krishna. And, and the intellect should help us to surrender to Krishna. Intellect should not become obstacle to surrender to Krishna. And yes, somebody can read this, the last highlighted one.
To obtain such knowledge, one must develop all the spiritual qualities. Begins with humility. One who thus develops the spiritual qualities is not affected either by the creation or by the destruction of the material world.
Hmm. To obtain such knowledge, one must develop all the spiritual qualities. And so there are two things are there, Prabhus. What is the one thing? That to obtain the knowledge, one must develop spiritual qualities. And one who has obtained the knowledge, he has got all spiritual qualities. All of you understood? So to obtain the knowledge, so he needs to work upon the qualities, humility and all that. Then he will be able to uh, obtain the transcendental knowledge. But somebody is okay, how we will say that some devotee is really has attained the knowledge, really has got the bhakti in his life. Right? So then we understand that he has uh, is how much he has developed the spiritual qualities. Right? The result is seen by that. That is the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which all of you seen. If somebody got the bhakti, right, it means what? He has all the qualities. Now, sloka number 3 and 4. So, this 1 and 2, Krishna is glorifying this knowledge. Now, 3 and 4, how the soul contacts the matter. Mamayonir mahat brahma tasmin garbham dadamiham sambhava sarvabhutanam tato bhavati bharata. Yes, somebody can read this translation.
The total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings, O son of Bharata.
So here the Brahman means what? No, the same word Brahman, generally different meanings are there. So here the meaning of Brahman means what? The Brahman means material nature. Right? The word is telling the total material substance called Brahman, which is also you can say right, Mahat Tattva. Right? Or initial state of Mahat Tattva is a Pradhana. Right? Yeah. The Pradhan is like a Suptavastha of the whole material existence actually. And all the elements are there in the Suptavastha. And when Suptavastha means they are in silent state or what? In uh, one is activate and another is called inactivate. है they are not in activate state. So that is called Suptavastha of all the material elements. So when the glance of the Lord is put on this Pradhana, then it start agitating. है So that's what it is telling. The Lord is telling the I impregnate, making possible the birth of all living beings, O son of Bharatas. So here Krishna is focusing upon that I am the cause. I am sending all the living entities. I am through my glance, I am sending all these living entities to this material existence. So it means I'll just it means what one of the thing is that Krishna is playing the one of the important role from the right of the beginning. Because Krishna is impregnates the Mahat Brahma and then a creation begins. How? Through the glance. In his glance, all the living entities are there. There will be time factor will be there, ego factor will be there, and then third is living entities. These are the three things are there in Lord's plans. And then he puts axonus, he puts his glance, then uh, the living entities comes to this existence. That means what we need to understand, there is a uh, uh, ultimate cause is what the ultimate person is behind. There is a Lord is there. So living entities, they are coming from the Lord. Living entity is the life, and Lord is also he has the life. The life comes from life. And so Prabhupada gives a very wonderful example here. Somebody can read this scorpion.
The scorpion lays its eggs in piles of rice, and sometimes it is said that the scorpion is born out of rice. But the rice is not the cause of the scorpion. Actually, the eggs were laid by the mother. Similarly, material nature is not the cause of the birth of the living entities. The seed is given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they only seem to come out as products of material nature. Thus, every living entity, according to his past activities, has a different body created by this material nature so that the entity can enjoy or suffer according to his past deeds. The Lord is the cause of all the manifestations of living entities in this material world.
Hmm. So here Prabhupada is telling that the scorpion lays the eggs in the piles of rice. So scorpion goes away from that place. So it does not mean that eggs are coming from the rice. And the matter is not the cause of the living being. But somebody may predict that. And so it may apparently may seem and, that the matter is the cause. But ultimately we see the matter is not the cause for the living being to get. And even we see the apparent another living being is the cause. What, like for example, we all have taken birth from our mother, right? But actual source for all of us is the Lord. Right? The apparent source of life is the mother, but actual source is the Supreme Lord. Actual source means what? The Lord is actually sending all the jivas into material world. And he is the seed giving father. The life comes from the life we understand. And Prabhupada gives many examples. Can you give some example? Prabhupada books, somebody read the example where Prabhupada defines that life comes from life. Life does not come from the matter.
Like Prabhupada give example of orange, like citric acid. He said,
Exactly. This was I was looking. Yes. What is the example?
तो ये सिमिलर एग्जांपल मिल्क वाला, मिल्क के लिए अगर बनाना है तो कोई घास से मिल्क डायरेक्ट नहीं बना सकता है कोई। और प्रभुपाद जी एक वो और एग्जांपल देते हैं ब्लड का। ब्लड बनाने के लिए अगर साइंटिस्ट 3 किलोमीटर लंबी फैक्ट्री बनाएंगे तो जाके वो ब्लड बना सकते हैं ऐसा।
But the thing is that how the citric acid example which I heard, what is that citric acid example? The citric acid is the chemical. From that citric acid chemical or the matter, you cannot bring the lemon tree. From the lemon tree comes the citric acid. So what Prabhupada says that matter comes from the life, and also life comes from the life. But you will not see the life comes from matter. है ना? जैसे हमारा बॉडी, वी ऑल आर लिविंग बींग्स, है ना? तो वन फ्रॉम आवर वन लिविंग बींग्स बाय reproduction the other living beings comes out, right? There is a one thing, and from our body so much matter is also coming out from nose, from ears, you know, stool, urine, everything is coming out, you know. So matter is also coming out, the living being also, you know. The life is the cause of matter, also life is the cause of life, you know? But matter is not the cause of life. That's what Prabhupada wanted to mention. Okay. Okay, we'll see this the last one more shloka and then we'll end. Sarvayonesu Kaunteya Murteya Sambhavantiya Tasam Brahma Mahadiyone Aham Bija Pradapita. Yes, somebody can read.
It should be understood that all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed giving father.
Uh, just read this highlighted one.
All these appearances are due to the mother material nature and Krishna's seed giving process. The purport is that the material world is impregnated with living entities who come out in various forms at the time of creation according to their past deeds.
Mm. So Krishna is the seed giving father, and then Krishna sent the Jiva in the material world, and then they get the bodies according to their past deeds. And so now somebody may ask that what is the difference between the previous verse and this verse? So almost they are the same, but there is a focus is different. In the previous verse, the Lord is focused because the Lord is telling Mama Yoni, है ना? And Mama Yoni means what? If you see, what is the meaning of Mama Yoni? And he is telling that I am the source of, है ना? The he's telling the yoni means the source of birth, and he's telling that I impregnant, and due to that, what is happening? That the living entities. Yes. So he is the impregnating. It means what? That he is the cause. He is the uh, um, Krishna is telling that I am uh, his focus in one sense. That I am his role is the one of the most important role. That what is doing? He's sending the jivatma into the material existence. And so this is the focus into the sloka number 3 and sloka number 4. What is telling? Sarva yoni. And so then he's telling that all the species of the life, and all the different species uh, are getting the bodies by the grace of Lord. And so this whole creation then happen step by step. Once the Lord says the jiva to the material existence, and then they go and get the bodies into different steps, and then God goes away the whole creation. And now the next thing comes how the modes bind the soul, which is sloka number 5 to 9, and that we will see tomorrow. No, next Monday. Okay. Anybody has any question, they can ask. One question I can take. The rest will handle. So today, I'll just revise it what we have seen till now. The first thing is that Bijavakya, uh, the Jiva is having the desire of enjoying mentality, and due to that, he comes in contact with the three modes that we saw. And that's how the chapter begins of 14th chapter. And then we saw that how Krishna glorifies this knowledge. The Krishna is telling already I've given this knowledge. Again I'm giving. So what is that again he is giving? He is going to talk about bhakti. But what he has not spoken before is the analytical study of the modes. That he is speaking first time. Then we saw that how this knowledge, jnanam upasitya, knowledge should be approached. We should take the shelter of the knowledge. Why? When we take shelter of the knowledge, and then it actually take us near to Krishna. It increases our love for Krishna, and the one should take the shelter of the message of the Lord. And then we saw that how the soul comes in contact with the matter, the Lord, because all the living entities are there in Lord's body, and Lord's what it is impregnant the Mahat Brahma, with these living entities, and that's how the living entities start getting body. And that's how Krishna is telling last this 14.14. Sarva yonesu kaunteya murteya sambhavantiya tasam brada mahadayone aham bija pradapita. That I am the seed giving father of all the living entities. Okay, so we'll end it here. Thank you. This all this the little tactic